Review. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Try again. What do you do when you are great at everything? Nothing. There isn't much to improve on. Misato Kurihara doesn't have much of a social life because of it. People avoid her because they are intimidated with her talents, and this makes for a lonely life. Throwing herself in front of a runaway car to save the life of a child, she is given a choice for what her life will be in the next. Misato becomes Mayo as she wishes to be average. She gets exactly what she wants, but the details of how that is doesn't line up with her intention. If you took the strongest being and the weakest entity, Mao's talents are exactly down the middle. Technically, this is what she wanted. The trouble is, this is still considerably powerful. Exactly what Misato wished for, but the exact opposite of what Misato wanted. Not wanted to draw attention and have the same problems she had in her past life. She does everything she can to not stand out. When you are able to use magic without any assistance from a wand and carry literally anything in your pockets regardless of size and weight, Mao has a hard time hiding her might in a fight. Mao being able to do basically whatever the hell she wants would seem to make her a boring character. The thing is, she doesn't want to. It balances itself out. Reina, Mavis, and Pauline are drawn to her mystique and later team up with her to become the Crimson Vow. Mao acts like a coach to the rest of the Crimson Vow. She can easily wipe the floor with whoever and whatever is in front of her. Instead, she allows the others to prosper. This is a very good way to hide her abilities. If the others are just as strong, Mao is indifferent. She's on an even playing field. Mao, Reina, Mavis, and Pauline are hunters who belong to the Crimson Vow. Although this is a group they form themselves and choose what jobs they take on, they abide by the Hunter's Guild to handle all the logistics in taking a job. There are other hunter groups who do the same as them, so there are plenty of characters and stories that can be told long term. The first enemies they encounter are reintroduced a few episodes later. The first impression of the characters are they are just the same cookie cutter template you would find in any other anime. The feisty girl who is sweet on the inside, the masculine girl who is surprisingly feminine, the polite girl who is very calculating. If you give it some time, it brings you more serious moments and gives you more reason to keep watching, because there is more personality to them. Their backstories aren't super original, but at least it balances out the silliness with more mature themes. One moment they are fighting corrupt soldiers, a part of a political conspiracy. The next moment they are fighting a literal giant chicken. The story is generally self-contained, with each episode about its own thing, while adding just a little bit to the main story to be addressed later. What can be considered an overarching storyline is Mao's ambition to lead a normal life. The characters are the center of the journey, their actions simply get them closer to the next one. If you were looking for a long-term story, your best bet would be to read the books it's based on, or wait for a second season. The end foretells a worldwide dilemma that changes the entire nature of existence in the world Mao is in. This would be the only way to find out the real nature of Mao's existence in this world. I myself am quite intrigued with the ramifications of what this could cause. For how silly the show is, this alone makes me want to see more of the Crimson Vow, and if Mao knows something she shouldn't. A predictable start, surprising middle, but enjoyable to the end. The Crimson Vow gives you enough moments to keep you entertained. The Crimson Vow are interesting enough to stand on their own, only if you give them time. Only if you give them time. It's hard to wait for an interesting backstory when the characters act the way you would expect when they are first presented. And it's hard to write a review without being redundant when these characters follow the same process. It pokes a little fun at itself and has enough banter until it gets to that point, but I don't think it's fair to have you wait for something you're already expecting. Their backstories aren't super amazing, but have a darker tone that you wouldn't expect from a show with characters who can't keep a surprise party a secret. It makes you laugh enough along the way that it might not bother you as much as it would me. It made me laugh with their antics in the fight, and made me cry, figuratively, when Mao brings up the possibility of dying just as quick as she did as Misato Kurihara. Recommended if you are interested.